News that matters on Local 22 News.
Place in history, we're in downtown Bellows Falls with Steve Perkins, Executive Director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, what brings us here this week?
So, Mike, we are here outside, well, what used to be the historic Wyndham Inn in Bellows Falls, but really to talk about its history as the Andrews Inn. Sure. One of these early places in rural Vermont that was really friendly to same-sex couples and kind of became a hub for that community here. And we're going to talk to H.P. Lozito, who is Executive Director of Out in the Open, who has some information on the inn, but also a really interesting oral history project.
Yeah, the Andrews Inn was a disco and a hotel and a bar, but also a co-counseling site and a community center for LGBTQ people, but also for straight community members. Really was a gathering place for everyone in the community to come together, both folks who were local to Bellows Falls, as well as people who were traveling from Montreal, New York City, Boston.
In the 70s and 80s, even in major urban areas, you would have had to look long and hard to find something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So John Moises started it in the building that his parents owned at that time. And he was from Bellows Falls, really right after Stonewall. Andrews Inn was founded in 1973, and the uprisings at the Stonewall Inn in New York had just happened a few years prior. A lot of folks in these more rural areas where we live were really looking for those kinds of gathering places where they could explore their own identity and experience and be together with other people. And Andrews Inn was that place. Tom Herman and Jeremy Yost purchased it in 1979, did a number of upgrades to the building, and then ran it successfully until 1984. So a good long run for any kind of business.
Within about the last 5 years or so, you personally have had a very important guiding role in getting off the ground an oral history project to document the importance of the Andrews Inn and the myriad ways in which it served people.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a really powerful collaboration that started between our organization Out in the Open, Marlborough College, Vermont Performance Lab, and Rockingham Arts and Museum Project, among with, obviously big community involvement as well from individuals. A lot of the people that we talked to through this oral history project, described Andrews Inn really as being a life-saving place for them.
Where can people find the product of the oral history project to this point?
Absolutely. Yeah. So people can find the Oral History Project on our website at weareoutintheopen.org. John Moises sadly passed away in the summer of 2019, and we rebroadcast my full interview with him as a podcast episode as well. So if folks want to hear an extended interview with John, that's available on our website as well. If folks are wanting to talk about their experience at Andrews Inn, our door is always open.
A door to friendship and acceptance at this place in history.
You're watching Local News That Matters